Preposition. What is a preposition? To connect nouns, pronouns, or phrases to other words in a sentence. A preposition is utilized. They serve to link the events, individuals, things, times, and places in a statement. Prepositions are typically brief words that are positioned immediately before nouns. Prepositions can occasionally be found in front of gerund verbs. It includes some of the most used terms in the English language, including of, to, for, with, on, and at. Prepositional explanations may sound challenging, but most people use them naturally without giving them a second thought. Prepositions are actually thought of as a closed class of words in the English language, which is noteworthy to notice. This indicates that, unlike verbs and nouns, this group does not gradually acquire new terms. It sort of mirrors their function as the sentence's main structural support. They are quiet and subdued, but they are crucial to linguistic meaning. There are two very important rules to remember when using prepositions. The first rule is that to make sentences clear, specific prepositions are needed. For example, the preposition in means one thing, and the preposition on cannot substitute for it in all cases. Some prepositions are interchangeable but not always. The correct preposition means one particular thing, and using a different proposition will give the sentence a very different meaning. I want to see you in the house now, Bill, means something very different from I want to see you on the house now, Bill. In the house means Bill should go through the door, walk inside, and stand in the hall or living room. On the house means Bill would need to get a ladder and climb to the roof where he would be on top of the house. The second rule for using prepositions is that prepositions are generally followed by nouns or pronouns. There was a time in the past when teachers held strictly to this rule, but it made for some clunky sentences. I am seeking someone I can depend on ends with the preposition on. So people who insisted that sentences shouldn't end with a preposition would be forced to use convoluted and unnatural phrasing. To avoid ending that sentence above with a preposition, you'd have to say, someone I can depend on is WH. Preposition examples. Let's look at some common examples of prepositions and how we would use them in sentences. List of common prepositions. Prepositions appear in lots of sentences, and some of the most commonly used words in the English language are prepositions. Some frequently used prepositions include to, for, of, from, by, in, on, at, with, about, among. Examples of prepositions in sentences. Typically, a preposition is the first word of a prepositional phrase. The following sentences show examples of how we use prepositions in sentences. I went to the store yesterday. By tonight, it should stop raining. For many people, Friday is the best day of the week. We sat on the bench under the tree. Types of prepositions. We use a lot of prepositions in sentences. Prepositions are often used to describe different types of relationships or abstract ideas. Prepositions of place, location. We can use prepositions to explain where something is located. When we do, we can describe the thing alone or by using spatial relationships. Examples of prepositions of place and location examples. The following sentences give examples of prepositions that describe something's location. Jessica stood at the corner. I live in Colorado. The computer sits on the desk. Prepositions of time. Prepositions can also be used to say when something happens. Examples of prepositions of time examples. The following sentences show examples of how we can use prepositions to refer to time. She went to the beach after work. The festival starts on Saturday. People wear spooky costumes during Halloween. Prepositions of direction. Another common way we use prepositions is to refer to the direction in which something moves or travels. Examples of prepositions of direction examples. Here are some examples of sentences that use prepositions to refer to direction. The puppies ran toward their mother. The coins fell into the water. My fancy jeans came from Italy. Ending a sentence with a preposition. A common misconception is that it is grammatically incorrect to end a sentence with a preposition. This is not true, and it is perfectly acceptable to end a sentence with a preposition. In fact, many sentences would sound weird to most people if they didn't end in a preposition. For example, most people would say that the sentence "I don't know where the money came from" sounds better than "I don't know from where the money came." Similarly, many would prefer to say "This isn't the food I asked for" rather than "The food for which I asked is not this." Thank you for watching. God bless it at all.